what's going on, guys? It's MaxMax24. And for those of you who don't know, I am on TikTok. That's right, I am on the wonderful app that is TikTok. And on TikTok, I do this series called Movies That Didn't Need Sequels. Now, what are these? These are movies that got sequels that really didn't need them. Either the story didn't warrant it, or they just were really bad sequels that should never have been made. But in that series, I've done a lot of parts of it, about 40 parts at the time of recording this, and it's kind of hard to find all of them on TikTok, and people on YouTube don't get to experience them then. So that's why I am making this beautiful compilation video. This is the second compilation video of my Movies That Didn't Need Sequels series. This will be all the ones that I have done after that last compilation video came out. Now you might say, that didn't need a sequel. Why are you making a sequel to that video? And it's because I can. Alright, before we do that, please let me know to drop a like, comment, subscribe, tell everyone there's no other super tell you what to do. Follow me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I upload some Twitter and TikTok. Something on Facebook, barely on Instagram. Follow me, subscribe to me here. And with that, let's get into Movies That Didn't Need Sequels, Part 2. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. Alien is a classic science fiction horror movie, and it's absolutely phenomenal. But why did we need more? After Alien, we got Aliens, which is an amazing sequel, and that one was great. Then we got Alien 3, then Alien Resurrection, then Prometheus, then Alien Covenant, and who can forget the Alien vs. Predator movies, and also the Alien video games. This movie could have been a one-off movie about the xenomorph breaking into the spaceship and everybody fighting for their life. It didn't have to be an entire franchise. Granted, Aliens is a phenomenal sequel, and we could have at least gotten that one, but after that, just stop. We don't need this humongous franchise focused on these aliens, alright? It just kind of detracts from the horror and from the first one, and it's not good. And now they're making an Alien TV show too. Please just stop, alright? Make something else. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. Space Jam was a really weird movie where Michael Jordan played basketball with the Looney Tunes. Now, this movie was not a great movie. A lot of people think it was amazing. It really wasn't, alright? Our nostalgia has definitely clouded us to the fact that this movie was not the best in the world, but it was still a lot of fun to watch, especially when we were younger. And at no point when I was watching it when I was younger was I like, I want more of this. I want a sequel. Especially a sequel that is just worse in every regard. Again, the first one was not that great of a movie, but the second one was even worse. You took the fun Looney Tunes and split them up and didn't even have Bugs Bunny in it for like the first 30 minutes of the sequel. What was that about? Whereas the first one felt a little bit unique, the second one felt like just Ready Player One with a basketball skin to it. We didn't need it. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. WreckIt Ralph was a really well done animated movie that was filled with so much heart and fun. It brings us into this world where video game characters are actually living beings with their own wants and desires. And we follow Ralph, who no longer likes his place in this world. He doesn't want to be the villain. He wants to have friends. He wants to be better than he is. And we get to go on this really great adventure with some twists and turns and a lot of fun. But then Ralph breaks the internet, decided to go in a different route, took out all the heart, and replaced it with, what kind of cameo can we get? It just doesn't draw you in like WreckIt Ralph does. It doesn't have the same emotions behind it. You're too busy watching the Disney princesses show up or watching Ralph buy things on the internet to really appreciate the actual story. Whereas WreckIt Ralph was filled with emotion and heart and really drew you in, Breaks the Internet just tried to wow you with its spectacle. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. So everybody knows the classic musical that is Grease. All of the songs are absolutely iconic, alright? When you think of Grease, you can instantly think of the songs and you're instantly singing along. But did you know that they actually made a sequel to this movie? Yeah. Grease 2, or Grease Squared as this logo says, came out a little bit after, and it takes place at the same school, but with a new group of seniors. Does anybody remember a single song from Grease 2? I don't think so. Does anybody even really remember the story of Grease 2? You could remember the story of Grease, but do you know anything about Grease 2? Grease 2 never needed to happen. This is Hollywood taking something that was super popular with the first one and just redoing it. Why? Musical sequels don't work for the most part, alright? Stop trying to do them, Hollywood. Stop it. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. Now I'm ready to get a lot of hate for this, but The Matrix never needed a sequel, or 2 sequels, or 3 sequels. The Matrix was an amazing action movie that completely blew everybody away when it first came out. The special effects alone were great, Keanu Reeves was great, everything about this movie was great. And this movie made everybody question whether they were in the Matrix or not, alright? Do we take the red pill or the blue pill? It was a big thing. But then they made the second one, and the third one, and now they're making a fourth one. The second one wasn't bad, it definitely was not as good as the first one, but it wasn't a horrible movie. The third one was even worse, alright? I don't know what happened there, that was just, no, the third one's not good. And I don't even know if the fourth one's gonna be good. The Matrix could have been a one and done thing. It's a cool action movie, but does it have the staying power for an entire trilogy, an entire 4-movie series? No. It just got overly confusing and bland. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. The Hitman's Bodyguard was an action comedy starring Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson, and it was a lot of fun to watch. It was one of those movies that you watched and you knew it wasn't a very good movie, but you were laughing too much to really care. Samuel L. Jackson plays a hitman and Ryan Reynolds plays a bodyguard. They're both bitter rivals, but they have to work together to accomplish a goal. It's a pretty funny movie to sit down and watch with some popcorn and some drinks, and you'll just have a good time. But then they made a sequel. The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard was nothing like the first one. And not only does it have an atrocious title, seriously, what is this title? But it also is just not as fun or funny. Instead of Ryan Reynolds being the bodyguard to Samuel L. Jackson, he has to be the bodyguard to Salma Hayek, and it's not as fun. Some of the jokes are repeated, some of them fall flat, and the story is just wild. They never needed to make a sequel. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. Everybody knows the classic Disney animated movie that is The Lion King. It's got fantastic animation, a great story, some amazing music. I mean, I will always be jamming out to Hakuna Matata. This movie instantly became a classic and beloved by many, many people. And of course, when a movie is successful, that means sequel time. But not every movie needs one, especially The Lion King. They made not one, but 2 sequels. And they made a live-action remake. And they're making a prequel to that live-action remake. The one thing Lion King didn't need was a cinematic universe. Who even remembers Lion King 2 Simba's Pride or Lion King 1.5? Who sat through the live-action Lion King and thought, this is better than the animated one? Just because you can, doesn't mean you should. That didn't need sequels. Let's go. Everybody knows the age-old classic story that is Cinderella. A girl with nothing with horrible stepsisters who just wants to escape that life and make a better one. It's a classic story. And it's a story that you think will be summed up in one movie. But then they gave us Cinderella 2, then Cinderella 3, not to mention the live-action remake, and then the hundreds upon hundreds of other variations of the story, like this one, and whatever the heck this is. You would think we as a society would only need one Cinderella movie, but I guess not. Can't you guys come up with another, princess story? Why do you have to keep churning out this same exact one over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? There are even other princess movies that are more open-ended and can actually be expanded upon. Cinderella cannot be expanded upon, so just stop trying. Seriously, stop it, please, for everybody's sake, stop. Movies that didn't need sequels, let's go. Oh, DreamWorks, how you have fallen. I don't think anybody in the world was asking for a movie about a baby voiced by Alec Baldwin, but we got one in Boss Baby. Boss Baby had Alec Baldwin voicing a baby who was a boss. That was literally the entire premise. And if you thought that was dumb, just you wait. Because they made a sequel. The baby and his brother have grown up, but now there's a new Boss Baby in the mix, and it's all back to square one. It's so dumb. I don't understand. Who thought that this was a good idea? Who walked into the pitch meeting and was like, I have a great movie idea for you. Imagine a baby, but wearing a suit. Oh my gosh, they all just clap. Seriously, this is from the same studio who made How to Train Your Dragon, Shrek, Kung Fu Panda. They're churning out a Boss Baby franchise? Are you kidding me? Movies that didn't need sequels, let's go. Everybody knows Independence Day. It's a classic sci-fi movie starring Will Smith. The speech that the president makes, the UFO destroying the White House, all of it's just iconic. So who thought this was going to be a good idea? Independence Day Resurgence is a sequel that I keep forgetting even exists. It was a sequel to Independence Day, but it didn't star Will Smith. No, it starred Liam Hemsworth. Who thought this was a good idea, okay? I don't get it. The story is dumb, the actors are all over the place. They brought back the scientist who I swear died in the first one. The only saving grace is Jeff Goldblum, and that's just because he's Jeff Goldblum. If I could forget that Independence Day Resurgence existed, I would pay a lot of money to forget that it did exist. Independence Day 1 is a classic. Independence Day 2, not so much. Movies that didn't need sequels, let's go. Everybody knows the classic movie that is Mulan. The music is iconic, the story everybody knows, and everything about this movie is just so well done. But who wanted more? They made Mulan 2, which I believe was one of the straight-to-video sequels that Disney loved doing at the time. But, this didn't add anything new to the story, and all the good music was in the first one. What was the point? And then they decided to do a live-action remake, technically not a sequel, but it still didn't need to happen. Especially since the live-action remake took away all the iconic songs. Seriously, we couldn't jam out to I'll Make a Man Out of You? Come on now. Mulan is just an iconic movie that, for some reason, Disney thought, let's cash in. Seriously, how many stories can you tell after this, alright? This story follows Mulan as she pretends to be a man to fight in a war. Where do you go from there? Sometimes I just don't understand you, Disney. Movies that didn't need sequels, let's go. Pretty much everybody has seen A Christmas Story. My family watches it every single Christmas. It tells the story of Ralphie and his big quest to get a Red Ryder BB gun. This movie is endlessly requotable, everybody knows most of the scenes, it's such a classic, fun family film. But did you know they made a sequel? A Christmas Story 2 takes place 5 years after A Christmas Story 1, and Ralphie wants to get a car this time. Everything that made A Christmas Story good is just completely gone in the sequel. Seriously, I don't even understand what they were thinking with this movie. It's not funny, it's not well written, it's not good. And now there's rumors that they're gonna work on another one. Since when did A Christmas Story need to be a trilogy? Even the lamp returns. I thought the lamp broke. Sometimes I just don't understand Hollywood, I just don't. Movies that didn't need sequels, let's go. Ice Age introduced us to some iconic characters, and it told an interesting story about protecting a kid while the world was falling apart around them. And it was a pretty decent animated movie. Not an amazing one, but it provided some decent fun. But who wanted more? The second one came out, and the world was melting. Then the third one had dinosaurs. Then the fourth one had the formation of the continents. And it wasn't done there, because the fifth one went even more bonkers. And then, of course, they just had to greenlight a spin-off sequel type thing, too. The first Ice Age was a pretty good movie, but nobody asked for this to be made into a frickin' franchise. And this franchise was literally, the only thing that was keeping Blue Sky Studios afloat. I don't get it. I don't get it. Nothing about these characters said franchise, but here we are. Movies that didn't need sequels, let's go. Minions was the latest Despicable Me movie, and it brought the series back before the Minions met Gru. And now the Despicable Me series is not a great series. It's just, I don't even know why Illumination is hellbent on making it this huge cinematic franchise, but they are. But Minions was a cute little movie. It was a Minion-focused movie. It was harmless. It wasn't particularly good, but it wasn't this horrible train wreck either. But why do we need more? Why do we need a sequel to the prequel? We don't need it. Now, this movie's not even out yet, but I can tell you by the trailers, it's probably not gonna be very good. It's gonna feel like every single Minions movie and every single Despicable Me movie before it. And what made Minions special was seeing the Minions not with Gru, seeing them outside of his personality and his persona. But now they're back with him in this one, and it's a little kid version of him. Why? Stop it. Stop it. Movies that didn't need sequels. Let's go. Mean Girls is such an iconic film. It's endlessly requotable, it's absolutely hilarious, and people have been watching it constantly since it released. The story of Katie coming to a new school and having to deal with the plastics and the hierarchy of school and all of the shenanigans that go along with that is just absolutely hilarious to watch, seriously. I don't know how much more I can say about it. It's just, if you have not seen Mean Girls, you should go watch Mean Girls, alright? I don't know what you've been doing with your life.
But just like literally everything, when something is successful, there needs to be a sequel, apparently. And that's how we got Mean Girls 2. Mean Girls 2 takes everything fun about the first one and just removes it. It's gone. Goodbye. This movie is not good. It's not good. And most recently, we got a musical adaptation. Who wanted a musical version of Mean Girls? Nobody. This movie is absolutely iconic, and we didn't need more. We didn't need more at all.
So those were all the movies that I don't think needed sequels. Let me know what movies you think didn't need sequels. Let me know what movies I got wrong that you absolutely love the sequels of. Let me know all that in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends, all the us stupid to do. And I hope to see you in the next